Saluton para los Tomaso. Hi, everybody. It's Thomas here. And yeah, so I've been trying to spread the word out on social media. I'm kind of jumping here a little bit last minute, unannounced. My plan today is to try to make a dent in some questions that I've been seeing, that I get notified that there are questions on the Duolingo forum. So again, if you guys are Duolingo learners learning Esperanto, this is the place for you. Feel free to bring up Duolingo on your own device and work on your daily practice while we're doing this. And if any questions come up while you're doing that, be sure to ask that in the chat. And yeah, my plan today is to make this a little bit of a marathon. I do have to take a break in the next 45 minutes or an hour or so to go to the school, because I've got a band concert I want to watch with my son. But then I will be back later in the afternoon to try to answer some more of these questions, whether they're live on the call or here in my email. So yeah, let me see from a technical point of view, make sure everything is still running. Actually, so here's the first email. And I've got, like I said, I think I've got well over 600. I think it's 670 unread notifications. And then I have quite a few that I've read. The one that I've read are almost certainly legitimate questions. People are asking questions, and I'm like, oh, I'd love to answer that question, but I don't have time now. And then the ones that are unread will certainly be a mix of wisecracks and legitimate questions. And by coincidence, the first one that I go into is this question. The sentence is, did you drink too much beer yesterday? Why is it biero and not bieron? So let me come over here to the question. Waiting for Duolingo to load at this point. Why is it biero and not bieron? So, very common question. Ĉu vi trinkis tro da biero hodiaŭ? Ah, yes. So why is it biero and not bieron? And I'm going to say because it's an ordinary position. Ordinary preposition. So I like to include a link to my keys to understanding Esperanto prepositions. Hopefully I don't have too many tabs open. Oops. Oh, I never actually posted. Okay, so here's my Duolingo post inviting people to the live stream. We're live now. Okay. That's that. And I'm actually looking for this one. So she wants to know, this is from Jell Hudson, why is it biero and not bieron? And the answer is because da is an ordinary preposition. More info here. All right. Yeah, so the reason was that this, it's a good question. Well, actually, I'm not sure whether Chell is the guy or the girl. But anyway, it's a legitimate question. Do you drink the beer, right? So beer would be the direct object. So you would expect it to have an N marking the direct object, but the answer here is da biero. Yeah. Tro da biero. Okay, so that's the plan for today. I might put that over here. Oh, you know what? I should make sure everything's working here. So if you guys have any comments, I'll be checking in with you in just a minute. I do have the, oh, that's not, I gotta close this down. I don't want to bring that up during the call by accident. I'm actually looking for this, where I have the link to the live stream just sort of there so I can copy it without looking for it. And I'm going to tweet that out. You guys want to do have a Twitter account, a Twitter account. I'm Salivanto out there, live now, answering Esperanto questions from Duolingo. All right, so I can close this down. But yep, so I'm at Salivanto on Twitter. We'll have to put information out there. And then I should also do this right here. First session is live. There's the link. And I hit enter. I'm going to actually see what this notification is. All right. Bear with me. I'm going to put in one more link and then I'll get back to more questions. Actually, one more link, then I'm going to see who's watching. I think that's what I'll do. So if you're watching, now's your chance to leave a comment. First session is... All right. And I'm going to close Facebook down. I don't need that open at this point. Yep, so this is the Esperanto Variety Show, where every Thursday we have new content in Esperanto or about Esperanto. And yeah, so I've been going a little crazy with the Lando Congreso last weekend and some other things coming up this weekend, and NASC just over a week away. So I thought the right thing to do would be to spend some time just getting caught up on these emails and answering questions. So I always forget theater mode. I think that's what I like to do. All right, it says 4 people watching. So far, no chats. So I will go back and answer more questions. That's my plan. I'm just basically trying to get through as many of these questions as possible, put a dent in them, and yeah, just sort of let you guys know a little bit behind this screen, well, line of scene here. Okay. Esperanto regas. That's the name of the thread. Today on my sound system, the letter R in regas had got lost. So I hear Esperanto egas. Would anyone else judge this? All right, you know what? I'm just going to leave that alone. Sorry, Donald Scott. Somebody else can answer your question. Vegans do not eat meat. Estas en tiu kaj en ligilo. All right. Nothing to say about that one. I'm just going to crank through these. Iona Sky, who we know also from the Facebook group, wrote on a new anime computer game. Oh yeah, the anime computer game. So there's a game that has, it's an anime computer game that has a Japanese, it was originally a Japanese course for us. Well, it wasn't even a course, but it was a game, and it uses Esperanto. And the idea is you can learn Esperanto while playing the game. There are a couple concerns at this point, and so we're looking. One is that the Esperanto in the, or I should say, the language that's spoken in the story is not called Esperanto. It has another name, and the articles that we found about it say that they deliberately made some grammatical changes in the language. And it's also spoken with a very strong Japanese accent. So probably not an ideal learning tool, but maybe fun if you're into anime. His dogs are very big. Hundoi liai estas tre grandai. Variant should be added to the correct answers. Don't you think so? Okay, Tony Boni. The answer is no, I don't think so. Let me, you know what I'm going to do here? Tony Boni, it's 8 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm going to make it 9 minutes. I'm going to just put a link in here and explain why I think that should not be, added. All right, we're going to say 9 minutes because we're 9 minutes into the live stream. And Tony Boni. Answer your question here. I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be added. Yeah. See, the problem here, and again, this is kind of a long explanation, but let's take a look at the sentence. Hundoi liai estas tre grandai. All right, his dogs are very big. And the correct answer, the way to say it in good Esperanto is liai hundoi estas tre grandai. Right, that's the normal way. So the question is, can he switch the order of liai hundoi and hundoi liai? Technically speaking, you can, but the word lia does a little more than saying that these are dogs that belong to him. It makes the expression his dogs definite. All right, so that's where we talk about definite articles, like the word the. So when we have a word like liai in front of a noun, that expression is definite. So it's the equivalent of having the word the in front of it. So the dogs that are his are very big. And there are it's generally accepted that if you put the liai after it, it no longer makes it definite. So hundoi liai estas tre grandai. Dogs, so that's kind of like dogs which belong to him are very big, which is a slight difference in meaning. Whether it should be added to the course, I think, is a question for the course volunteers to decide. My recommendation would be no, but I'm not a course volunteer. I'm just a guy on the forum using Duolingo to learn languages like everybody else. Yeah. Okay. What's next? Tony Boney, there's the answer to your question. Delete. Hopefully that link that I put in there will work. This is a little bit of an experiment. Hell yeah, dude. This is the sentence. Usonanoi parolas diversajn lingvojn. Hell yeah, dude. They speak like English, American, British, and even some speak Australian. Yep, not a lot to say there. I was actually just at the Landa Congreso, and most of the kitchen staff were speaking Spanish with each other, so it was interesting. There were so many Esperantists who could speak Spanish, and I took a crack at ordering my breakfast and lunch in Spanish. And I did okay till about the third time when she started asking me some harder questions, and Esperanto kept coming out. All right, Juha, in the sentence, la vespero estis plena je humuro. La frazo sonas praa. Oni eble diras tiel antau 100 jaroj. Nuntempe ni ridis multe dum la vespero. Yeah, kind of not sure I agree with that. I certainly agree that ni ridis multe dum la vespero is probably good. There are a lot of comments on the forum along these lines. I think sometimes people lose track of why we're on the forum, what the forum is for. All right, we're there to learn some Esperanto, see how Esperanto works. La vespero estis plena je humoro. The evening was full of humor. And even in English, that sounds a little funny to me, but I'm not going to quibble about that one. I do not live in Australia. The comment is, ne is placed immediately before the word it denies. You know what? I think that's probably true. And so I think that's a great answer. Hopefully it was a great question that he was answering, he or she. Po Azul wrote on the offices in the United States. Might that be la for the office? Well, let's find out. Let's get the context here. Find out what the question is. Oh, you know what? I have not done my daily exercises. Oh, wait a second. I have. Okay, yeah. I see my streak is illuminated there. 1, 2, 4, 5. I remember doing that now. Okay. Okay, so yeah, you know what? So this is a question from 4 months ago. Rosa says, okay, the sentence includes the before United States and la appears in the prompt box. So why is my answer including la marked as an answer? Okay. So here's the sentence. The office is in the United States. La oficejo estas en Usono. This is something I see just about every day, certainly every week. People get tripped up because the name of the country in English is the United States. But the name of the country in Esperanto is simply Usono. Right? So when you translate the United States into Esperanto, you don't need la, because la is not part of the name in Esperanto. And people ask this question over and over again. Why is it not la Usono? See that? And so somebody says, might that be la for the office? Oh, I see, because this one has la in there twice. La oficejo estas en Usono. All right, not actually a whole lot to say there either. All right, I'm going to see who's on the live stream, see if any comments. Vandenk diras saluton Tomaso. Rafa diras ho bonege, mi povas spekti vian rektan elsendon dum vi matan manĝas. Do, Rafa, bonan apetiton. Kaj jes, do mi antaŭ vidas revidi vin post nelonge, ĉu ne? Eble mi eĉ ne demandis, ĉu vi venos al nask? Mi esperas ke jes. Kaj certe dankon por spekti. Bone, kaj denove, por tiuj, kiuj lastatempe venis al kiel ĝi nomiĝas, al la viva elsendo, tiuj ok personoj, se vi estas nova nun en la elsendo, la plano hodiaŭ simple estas respondi al demandoj. Jes, do Rafa, mi baldaŭ vidos vin. Fakte estis amuze, ĉar kiam mi vidis Brianon, kaj Briano, por tiuj, kiuj ne scias. By the way this works out here for me on these live streams is I tend to speak English when I'm looking at the forum, but as soon as I look at the chat and see people chatting with me in Esperanto, I start speaking in Esperanto. So I'm going to switch back and forth just so people know. Mi parolis pri Briano, kaj Briano estas fakte li estas redaktoro de la Naska Fasco, kaj helpinstruisto dum la semajno tie dum nask. Kaj mi vidis lin, Katie, saluton, estos bone revidi vin. Do vere, do kiam Briano foriris de la landa kongreso, mi brakumis lin kaj donis al li vere sinceran ĝis revido, kaj subite mi ekhavis la ideon, ke mi vidos lin post 2 semajnoj. Kaj mi diris, nu, kiam mi brakumis vin? Nur pro 2 semajna foresto, ĉu ne? Tio estas malsparita brakumo. No, sed fakte mi parolis kun aliaj amikoj pli poste, kaj vere brakumoj ne povas esti malsparaj. Bone, right. So for those of you who are just joining, the plan today is simply to try to answer as many of these notifications that I've gotten. Just sort of live stream it. I've got a lot going on. By the way, one thing I do want to say is I want to thank Esperanto USA and the Esperantic Studies Foundation for supporting Esperanto Variety Show. At the Landa Congreso, I received a grant that I had asked for to continue making videos. So I will be here for a little while longer, making regular weekly videos. I do have quite a few things filmed. I have one where I've tried to get the lawnmower started after it sat all winter. I have another where I talk about how I would start learning Esperanto now, just the basics of what tools you're going to need if you want to start learning Esperanto from zero for free or for very little money. Then I have also filmed all sorts of bits from the Landa Congreso. I still need to get back to the Tempo con Tommaso. I've got quite a few episodes of that filmed and ready to go out. So yeah, there's a lot coming up, but the fact is, running around to Esperanto events and other obligations that I have, I've not been able to get videos actually edited. And I've also fallen way behind on these notifications for the same reason. So I'm going to try to take care of that this morning. All right, so here's the comment. Sofia ne estas en la oficejo. There's the sentence. And the comment is, oficiro mi nur tretis la gason kaj la auto trairis la ruĝan lumon. So, yep. Yes, so fakte, ne gaso efektive estas gas, like as in solid, liquid, or gas. So you're not really stepping on the gaseous stuff. You're stepping on the accelerator, the akcelilo. Do mi nur pushis la I just said the word. Akcelilo, mi nur surtretis la akcelilon kaj la auto trairis la ruĝan lumon. Yep. All right, so P azul is minor grammatical comments there. I'm not going to take a lot of time on that one. Sophia, okay, you can delete this request. There is sound now. All right. If there's no sound in a Duolingo sentence, the best thing to do is to go to support.duolingo.com and fill out a bug report if the sound's not working. Okay. It's not a whole lot of, I don't see a whole lot of sense in putting that in the form. He lives in the red house. Why no N at the end of the objects? All right, well, here we go. Another question about the direct object and the N ending. Let's see if we can make sense of it. So here's the sentence. He lives in the red house. Li loĝas en la ruĝa domo. And the question is, why is there no N on the direct object? So presumably, some of you guys watching will know the answer here. The reason why there's no N on the direct object is there is no direct object. In fact, I'm going to say 21 minutes. I'm going to do the same thing I did here. I'm going to answer this live. See my answer to your question here. 21 minutes in. Hopefully I can just paste it. Yep, and I changed it from 9 minutes to 21 minutes. All right, so now I can answer it verbally. Yeah, so Gerbaldik wants to know why there's no N at the end of the objects here, and the answer is there is no direct object, right? So he lives. When you live, you don't live something, right? The direct object is the thing that the verb acts on. So he's not, when you live, he's not doing anything to anything. We're saying where he lives. When you live somewhere, you just live, right? You don't live something. So there's no direct object. And so N is a preposition. And it's a preposition of motion. So I'm going to put this link in the answer as well. Because it's a preposition of location, which means it shows a location. You can be in a house, and that's a location, but there's no motion. All right. So I'm going to say see also, and then I'm going to put the link in there. Yep. All right. Yes, it's a preposition, not a direct object. All right. So yeah, lots of people learning Esperanto. They see a sentence they don't quite understand. They ask a question, and there's no real good way to browse these sentences for, or I should say browse these forums for new questions, which is why I have everything as much as possible set up to send me email notifications and go into a folder. Trouble is there's no real easy way to share this list with other people to get some help answering these questions. That's another problem. All right. Mi ne loĝas en Aŭstralio. He does. I, you, we, they do. All right. I'm going to assume that's a comment about English and keep moving on. We are just studying the language. If you want the creators of the course to change something, you should request. Look at that. Look at that, Rafa. Are you still here? Got it. If there's something you want to change in the course, you think there's something else that should be accepted, the best thing to do is to use the report a problem button as opposed to commenting in the forum. It's absolutely true. Whoops, I didn't mean to click on that. I just wanted to hit delete because I have nothing to say about that thread other than to keep pressing on. Yep. So I mentioned that I'm going to try to be on here with you guys for about an hour today, maybe 45 minutes. There's a concert at the school that I want to go to, and then after the concert, I'm going to come back home and see if I can get back on here and answer some more questions. So, again, this might be a good idea to bring up Duolingo on another device to get your daily practice in. Don't forget. Otherwise, the green bird's going to pester you. Got to make sure you practice every day. Ooh, I got a flash flood warning in this area till 12:30 a.m. Avoid flood areas. Yes, bone. Yes, do tio estas la, mi volis diri ke vere pluvas nun en mia urbo, sed mi ne loĝas en loko kie vere mi devus timi inundojn. Do tial mi ne faras al mi grandajn zorgojn pri tio. Oops, I don't want to do that. It's one problem with this. I'm trying to give you guys as much of the screen to look at as possible, but now I can't actually click on close here. No, I know the problem is I can't click on delete. Delete. There it is. All right. Mr. Shivers wrote, Li manĝas karotojn kiel matenmanĝon, tagmanĝon kaj vespermanĝon. You know, I'm going to take a look at that thread because I seem to remember there being a lot of discussion in that one that I wasn't able to get to. While I'm waiting for that, I will pop in here to see if there are any new comments in the thread. Noob White, saluton ĉiuj, jen mi ree do refoje Noob White do saluton. Yes, kaj Rafa samopinias oni uzu la butonon por proponi tradukojn. Yes, to se estas alternativo. All right. I put the exact answer down and it took me as being wrong for some reason. Yeah, that's frustrating. Not sure what else to say about that. There was a time when I would have responded to that, but I've got 600 more notifications to go through here. So I'm going to just... oh yeah, I do remember there was lots of discussion on this thread. Li manĝas karotojn kiel matenmanĝon, tagmanĝon kaj vespermanĝon. Yep. And not a whole lot to say about that. Okay. All right. What's next? Okay. La viro kaj la virino venas el Usono. You can actually type it here. All right. I appear to have gotten in a vein of not very interesting comments. Apologies to P. Azul. Oh, you know what? All right. P. Azul appears to have written a lot of very short comments here, and I don't know that I have a lot to add to that. So I'm going to just sort of try to get through these. In fact, I wonder... I know I've got some that I've saved. If I just keep on deleting them, I will get through to them. Don't know what he's saying. Anyway, while I'm doing this, I want to mention that ARE, which is the fall Esperanto event, the fall Aŭtuna Renkontiĝo de Esperanto, the fall gathering of Esperanto. That's going to be Columbus Day weekend, and the registration is now open at the event. In fact, that reminds me, I should probably hang up here and call and get my own room before anybody takes all the good rooms. And I'm going to try to encourage people to sign up early. If you're interested in coming to a Esperanto event with a 25-year history and lots of opportunities to speak Esperanto, often with people who don't have English as their native language, plan on coming down for Columbus Day weekend. And it would be good to get your room in advance because in years past they've run out of space. And this year, because of the way the deposits were in the contract, I might be releasing the rooms to general availability early. But as of right now, we have a block of rooms held. So if you want to come, there'll be more information about that in the weeks coming up. But now's the time. If you already know what it is, now's the time to jump on this. Okay, good. Here's a question that I did look at this question this morning, and I think this is a great one, so I saved it for the live stream. Let me go right to it. In fact, it's the question is, what is flava modifying here as an adjective? My intuition tells me flave would match more since it's modifying the verb. So let's take a look at the sentence. Kiam ŝi farbis sian ĉambron flava. Yeah, so this is according to the Teach Yourself Esperanto book, which is floating around the internet as a PDF, easy enough to find here or there for free. Is they I think it was in that book. Maybe it was another book that I read around the same time. They called it the predicate not nominative, and basically what it means is that after the verb there's going to be a nominative describing word. It's actually describing the room. Kiam ŝi farbis sian ĉambron flava, right? So it's explaining, right? She didn't color the room. So if it had said Kiam shi farbis sian chambron flavan, that would mean, when did she paint her yellow room? But when we leave the flava in nominative, then it becomes, when did she paint her room yellow? Right, so it describes the result of the painting. It describes what the room looks like after it's painted. So I'm just going to say, you know what, I am going to put in here, I'm going to put a link to this discussion that I just had. I'm going to say it's about 29 minutes. 29 minutes. More detail on the live stream. And we're going to say 29 minutes. Whoops, 29. It's describing the room after it was painted. All right, hopefully that answered her question. Let me see if you guys have any questions or comments at this point. By the way, thanks for hanging out with me. Saluton a ypsilono. To a ypsilono mi scivolas to de kie venas tiu nomo. Ĉu tiu estas viaj, ĉu via nomo komenciĝas per a kaj ypsilono? To bonvenon al Esperanto Variety Show. Yeah, all right. Oh, I have other great news. If you have not heard, the Transparent Language Word of the Day is now live with sound that my wife and I have recorded, and some sentences that I have approved. So if you are familiar with Transparent Language Word of the Day, that's you can get that in email. You can also follow them on Twitter. And every day you get a new word in Esperanto. And quite frankly, up till now, the quality of the sentences were not all that good. It was a passion project of somebody that was involved with, I guess, somehow connected to Transparent Language years ago. And the Transparent Language was kind enough to allow me to update it, to correct many of the sentences, and to re-record the audio. So it's all out there on Twitter or on their Transparent Language webpage. Every day you get a new word. Sometimes they're very simple, like terpomo, and other times they're more advanced words. Oh, good. New Boyd has a question. I love questions. If the room in that sentence is plural, will the flava also take the ending J? Absolutely. So if we imagine somebody has a bunch of boxes, and they're all wooden boxes, mi volas farbi la skatoloin. Pardon, mi volas farbigi la skatoloin flavaj. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it'll match the number, but not the case, because we're describing the box after it's painted, not the box that we're actually painting. All right. Kioma horo estas? Bone, do restas iom da tempo. You know what? I better double check this. I was rushing this morning to get this live stream started. Yeah, I've got to be at the school before 9:30, and it is not yet even 9 o'clock here in New York. All right. So delete this notification and move on to the next. I wrote, Pardonu, kiel oni tion skribas. Is that wrong, or should it be accepted? All right, I'm going to say it's not really wrong. In fact, maybe Rafa could tell me. I think that if he so one thing is, when you're doing Duolingo, you've got to keep in mind that you're being graded by a computer, right? So you want to put things in the word order that you're going to expect the computer to actually know. All right, I'm going to say 34 minutes here. More discussion here. 34 minutes. All right, yeah, so I think it's probably okay. I suspect if somebody were to put that in there, the course authors would add it as an alternative. But quite honestly, if you know that you're being graded by a computer, you've got to keep in mind that Pardono, kiel oni tion skribas is a little bit of an unusual word order, and typically you don't change word order like that unless you're going for some kind of special emphasis. And I don't think there's any special emphasis here, so I would not say it in the word order that Morris Scott put it in. But I think again, the course authors generally do, as I understand it, and Rafa can correct me if I'm wrong if he's still listening, that they would add it as an alternative. But my thought is, next time you come around and you see a sentence like this, I would try to put in, follow a more conventional word order. And the answer that comes up here should be treated like a model. All right, so these sentences get a lot of attention. Occasionally they do have a problem. There are problems with the sentences, but the vast majority of the sentences are good and have been checked by quite a few people. And if you see something written a certain way, chances are that's a good model to follow. So I would recommend following the model if you could. So those are my thoughts on that. Let's see, next sentence. Fred Kapp, he's a regular here. What native speaker here says stops for the buses? You know what? I'm not going to give that any more thought. People want to discuss English in the forum. Occasionally I'll get into that, but my feeling is people are here to learn Esperanto. All right. Kiel, yes, a Kiel ne. Stops for the buses. All right, he's still talking about English. Still not accepted. Yep. I know some people think it's helpful to comment in the forum that they've reported something. I personally don't think it's helpful, but I'm just one person. So people are welcome to disagree. So somebody said this should be correct. There's the answer. There's a comment. This should be correct. I wanted to see what he or she was saying was correct, and there's no answer, so nothing to say there. By the way, this is why I oftentimes try to screen the questions before the live stream. But the easiest way for me to do that, the way I've tried to do it before has often caused my Chromebook to run out of memory in the middle of a live stream, which causes the live stream to crash. And that's no fun. All right, P. Azul is making lots of more little comments. We meet in a cafe. What's wrong with... okay, this is interesting. What do you guys think? We meet in a cafe. What is wrong with this answer? I'm going to just put in the timestamp at 38 minutes. Discussion of this question here, 39 minutes, 38 minutes. Yep, 38. All right. Whoops, I did 28. 38. There we go. Okay, so we meet in a cafe. Why is we meet in a cafe wrong, not accepted, if the question we're translating is ni rencontillas en cafeoi? Now, to me, the answer is clearly because there's a difference between meeting in a cafe, which is something you're doing right now, and ni rencontillas en cafeoi, right? So there's different cafes that you meet in on some kind of regular basis. So rencontillas could mean you're meeting now, or it could mean that you're sort of habitually meeting on a regular basis somewhere, that you habitually do that. Yep. So the reason why it's not accepted is it has a different meaning. All right. Next sentence, next question. These are all email notifications that I get. Because I follow a lot of threads on Duolingo. All right. May 8 teacher or Maya teach. Oh, it's not May 8 Atcher. It's Maya teacher. Says, why not surhavas as the verb? Surhavas means to have something on, like you could have a hat on, but you could also, a tombstone could have an inscription on, a t-shirt could have a t-shirt could have something on it, right? Tiu chemiso surhavas bildon de Zamenhof, exemple. All right, so in this case, I feel very kind of comfortable saying that we want to say portas really is the better verb here. So let me say, So somebody 2 weeks ago asked a similar question. It seems that this sentence still exists and still doesn't accept virinoi ankaŭ portas zonoin. Could someone explain to me why this is wrong? All right, so I'm going to say I discuss this thread live here, 40 minutes in. All right, I'm going to change that to 40 minutes. I think it may have been 39 when I started, so if they come in at 40 minutes, I may need to rewind. But I haven't really answered anything yet, have I? All right, so to answer Thomas Dobbs' question, it wouldn't surprise me if the course authors would accept it. I know they've got a lot of sentences to review. But I think, right, women also wear belts. To me, that means in English that this is something that women do too. So not just men, but women also wear belts, right? So in that case, you would want to put ankaŭ first in front of virinoi, right? So you're saying that it's the women who we're adding as the additional thing. So not just men, but also women. To say it the way Thomas says, virinoi ankaŭ portas zonoin, that could mean that they don't just swing them around their heads and put on a show on YouTube, but they also wear them, right? Wearing is something additional that they do to the belts. Now, if I were in a conversation with somebody, or if I was, if multiple people were in a conversation and somebody said, "Mi ankaŭ volas havi tion," right? And somebody jumped in and corrected that person. You put ankaŭ in the wrong situation. I'd tell that other person to stick it in their ear, right? Because it's a perfectly natural way to speak, and in the context, it's very clear that we're talking about, this is something that women do too. But if somebody had said virinoi portas ankaŭ zonoin, that very strongly emphasized the fact that it's not just shoes they wear, but it's also belts. So that's a little bit about what they mean. They have a little bit of flexibility in the middle of the word. I would consider this kind of a borderline case, but yes, virinoi. Well, actually, it's a good question because we don't really have any context here. But women also wear belts. See, I would say women wear belts too. Well, yeah. I suppose in the right. Maybe the question is the context is not clear. So where's the question that I was just answering? Anyway. Actually, this is interesting. Okay. Here's an answer that I made 10 months ago. I wrote, I have an issue with this sentence. I'm going to run it up the flagpole and get it back to you. What was... Edit. I've gotten word that this sentence has been removed. That's interesting. Here's what I said about the sentence. Hopefully it answers your question. La vortordo ne estas bona, ĝi aspektas kiel la respondo estas virinoj ne nur aĉetas zonojn. Yeah, so all right, so it looks like the word order has been changed. In fact, this comment here might actually answer Thomas's question. Anyway, hopefully that was helpful. All right, clock just chimed. What time is it? Probably 9 o'clock. Oh, yeah, if it was chiming more than one thing, it's definitely 9 o'clock. All right, so I think I'm going to do one more question, and then, yeah, so those of you watching the replay, I will put an additional video link at the top of the screen and on the end screen, so there's more to watch. I would recommend perhaps the Lerno kun Logano course if you've not taken a basic course for Esperanto. If you have questions about grammar, a lot of that is answered in Lerno kun Logano and in the free Esperanto course. Yeah, so let's do one more sentence, and then I will be back a little later this morning. So watch for your notifications. Make sure you ring the bell, or just check back when you're available, because I will be back. Oh, shoot, I haven't shaved yet. Good thing I allowed extra time this morning. Aliginto. All right, Donaldo. He's also been on Duolingo for a while, so we know him. It says I'm live. I don't know how to stop broadcasting.